All right, so we are off and running. Welcome to the 28-day Fall Nutrition Challenge Kickoff Seminar. This week, I met with each of you individually to talk about your current nutrition habits and what you'd like to get out of this challenge. So our goal over the next 28 days is to help you take control of your health by creating small and sustainable changes. Those small changes will add up to big results over time. During this challenge and after, I want to make sure we're providing you with the tools, accountability, and support needed to help you reach your fitness goals. Get another one popping on. Cool. All right. So go ahead and get going here. So just a few housekeeping notes. I will be recording the seminar. It's already recording. I'm going to keep you guys all on mute for now. If you do have a question at any point, make sure you type it in the chat box there, and I will open it up for questions at the end of the seminar. So we'll go ahead and get going on this. Cool. All right. All right, so if you've ever done an internet search on nutrition, I'm sure you found there is a ton of information out there. There's so much conflicting information, it can be really hard to tell where to start and what is right for you. At B3 Gym, we believe nutrition should not be complicated. So with the stress of everything else going on around us, we want to keep it really simple, and we want to help you create sustainable, healthy habits that will lead to lasting results. During our seminar today, these are our objectives. We're going to help you understand how to set yourself up for success during the challenge, understand where you need to start to get the most out of your efforts, and understand how to use all of the tools and resources provided to you for support. So it's really important for us to start with a baseline of your current habits. And so during our initial meetings this week, we talked about what success looks like for you over the next 28 days. Once you have a better understanding of where you're at right now with your current habits, you can start to create a plan that will get you on track for where you want to be. So it's always good to start with a baseline. And that's what we did this week. We started with a baseline. It's important to think about your goals, right? So what do we want to accomplish during the challenge? And when we're setting our goals, it's also really important to consider the why behind your goals. Why is this goal so important to you? How will it impact your life? And when you're setting your goals, you also want to ensure that they are SMART goals. We talked about SMART goals during our meetings this week. Something specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. To achieve your short or long-term goals, we need to create habits related to your goals. And a habit is a routine of behavior that is repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. So to create these habits, we need to be a little bit more conscious and intentional with our actions to get started. It'll take a little bit of work up front, but we want to work on developing sustainable habits by putting in the work now. So during this challenge, we want to focus on one thing at a time. And I think a lot of us are guilty of this before. If we try to do too many things all at once, we tend to get really overwhelmed and then nothing gets done. So keep it really simple, nail that one thing before we add something else, and just focus on that one habit and creating that routine until it starts to become one of those things that you just do naturally without having to think about it. So we're going to start diving into some of our specific nutrition information. Here are some basics to get us started. So when we think about our nutrition, we want to try and choose real foods over food products. That means we're trying to limit how much processed food we have in our diet. We want to also get rid of the temptation. I know for me, if I have something in my house that probably isn't the best thing, I'm going to eat it. So it's best to get rid of the processed foods that you're trying to avoid and keep your pantry and your kitchen space clean of any of those temptations. Keep in mind that things will not always go smoothly. We're going to have ups and downs. We'll have good days and bad days. You're going to have a day where you slip up and you eat something. That's okay. Just stay consistent with your habits and focus on that steady progress. And if you do slip up, remember that you are only one meal away from getting back on track. Don't just throw away the whole day. Just pick up where you left off on that next meal or snack. And then we want to stick with the plate method. We're going to talk about that next. So the plate method is one of the easiest and most effective methods for improving your diet by focusing on eating a balanced meal of high quality foods. The plate method is a great rule of thumb when you're going out to eat or when you're cooking your meals at home. And this is how we're going to do the plate method. So half of our plate, you can see on the image there, half of your plate is your non-starchy vegetables. A quarter of our plate is going to be our lean protein. A quarter of our plate is going to be our complex or starchy carbohydrate. And then we're going to add in a small amount of a healthy plant-based fat. And fat recommendations are going to vary based on how much fat is also in your protein. So remember that some of our protein sources will also have fat in there as well. So we want to keep that in mind when we're balancing our plate. So we're going to talk about the different components of the plate method next, but this is just a good image. Keep this in your head. Half of your plate, non-starchy vegetables, quarter of your plate protein, quarter of your plate starch, and then a little bit of fat there as well. So protein provides us with important amino acids, which are really important for building muscle and for recovery. Not to mention, protein is also going to help us stay full and feel more satisfied throughout the day. When it comes to protein, we want to focus on including lean proteins with your meals, such as chicken breast, turkey, egg whites, fish. And as I mentioned, we want to beware of high-fat protein sources, such as ribeye, chicken wings, things like that. On average, protein is going to provide about 4 calories per gram and should make up about 30% of your total caloric intake. Carbohydrates. So this is probably the macronutrient that gets the worst reputation. People always want to avoid carbs. Many foods are going to fit in the carbohydrate umbrella. So we talk about fruits, sugars, bread, pasta, grains, even starchy vegetables like sweet potato, butternut squash are carbs. Carbohydrates are going to break down into glucose, which is your body's preferred source of fuel. So your body needs carbohydrates to fuel your brain, okay? So we need to have carbs in our diet. Like protein, carbohydrates are going to provide 4 calories per gram and should make up anywhere between 30 to 40% of your daily intake. We recommend 40% for most of our nutrition clients. And with fat, so contrary to popular belief, fat is not going to make you fat. Fat actually also helps you stay full longer, and it's going to help you absorb certain fat-soluble vitamins. However, fat is going to be the most calorie dense of the 3 macronutrients, weighing in at 9 calories per gram. If you think about, we talked about the carbohydrates and protein are 4 calories per gram. So remember, a little bit of fat is going to go a long way. We also want to try to stick with more plant-based sources of fat, such as avocado or olive oil. So this is the food options guide. This is in your challenge handbook. So this is a great reference point. There's also a lot of information in the challenge handbook about the macronutrients as well. So make sure you're taking a look at that. But this is a great a resource for you. I like to put this up on my refrigerator in my kitchen. And so when I'm planning my meals and snacks for the week, it's a really great reminder of what foods are going to be the best options for me. You want to try to stick with foods that are in the green category. Green means good. The yellow category, we want to try to eat more in moderation. And then the red category, you're allowed to have it, yes. But we want to try to limit how much food we're eating from the red category. So for me, I like to eat chicken thighs. I know that's in either the red or green or red or yellow. I'm still going to eat those, not every day, but I'm still going to eat those during the week. So not saying that you cannot have anything in the red category, just limit how much of that and try to stick mostly with what's in the green category on your food options guide. So you guys can take that out of your handbook, post it up on your fridge, and then that'll be a great resource for you during the challenge. And again, there's some really great information in your challenge handbook, so I would encourage you to read through that. It's going to help you when you are planning out your meals for the week and also creating your grocery list. I know some people mention that they really don't enjoy grocery shopping. It's really stressful. They don't know where to get everything or how much food to get. So this planner is going to be a great place to start. You want to think about choosing a few staple protein options for the week. And remember that you can use the same protein for multiple different recipes. So if I do crock pot shredded chicken, I can use that chicken in a bunch of different recipes during the week. Then we can decide what starch we want to eat. So I like to do roasted sweet potatoes or mashed sweet potatoes. You can grab the Easy Cook bags of brown rice. Those are super simple. Don't forget to load up on the non-starchy vegetables. This is really important. We talked about that being half of our plate. So for me, I keep it really simple with my nutrition. I usually will buy the bags of broccoli that I can microwave, or I'll roast some Brussels sprouts, something like that. Keep it really simple. And then make sure you're having that source of healthy fat as well, whether you're cooking with the olive oil or you're adding some avocado. Once you have your meals all planned out, then you can go ahead and create your grocery list so you know exactly what you need. To maximize your cooking time, you can cook larger portions. We call this batch cooking for another night of meals or for leftovers for lunch for the next day. So you don't feel like you're having to cook every single meal. If you cook extra food, you'll have that for your next meal or for leftovers as well. So this again is a great resource here. This is usually how I do my meal planning for the week. I'll think about what dinners I want to have, and then I'll cook extra for lunch for the next day. Protein, starch, vegetable, and then add in that small amount of fat as well. So super simple. That'll help with planning your lunches and dinners for the week. All right, so with the meal plan, you get a meal plan included with the challenge as well. Do you need to follow the meal plan exactly? So the meal plan is meant to be for reference, for more inspiration, and basically just to show you what a balanced meal looks like and what a balanced snack looks like. So you can pick and choose the recipes that look good to you. Eat the foods that you like. If there's a snack that has a certain fruit in it and you don't like that fruit, switch it out for another one. That's kind of the beauty of the meal plan, is it's just going to be a resource for you to create the meals and the snacks that you like. It just, again, is going to give you an idea of what a balanced meal and snack looks like. So we talked about balance is the balance of the protein, the carbohydrate, and the fat. So pick some staples, choose a few recipes, and create some balanced meals based on your preferences. Don't feel like you need to cook and eat everything on the meal plan. It's just here again as an example of the balanced meals and some healthy recipes. In there, there's also some recipe ideas as well. I think I sent out the link to the website in the email that I sent out already. That Healthy Steps Nutrition recipe website has some great, super simple, really delicious recipes if you guys want to check those out as well. Do you have to weigh your food? This is a question we get sometimes as well. No, you don't have to buy a food scale and weigh out your portions. You can use the plate method, again, for your meals. We talked about that already. There's also another reference that I will send you guys out. It is called the hand portion guide. And it basically just uses your hand to estimate different sizes of portions. So you have your protein, you have your vegetables, your fat is usually going to be a thumb. So I'll send you guys that as well. If you want to print that out and put it up on your fridge, that's a great way to kind of make sure that we're staying within those portion sizes as well. If you want to weigh your food, absolutely go for it. Just know that that's going to be a little bit more extra work, and sometimes that can get a little bit overwhelming for people when they're first getting started. So keep it simple, just use the plate method, and I'll send out that hand portion guide as well. Snack bars, this is a good one as well. So snack bars are super convenient, especially if you are on the go, if you don't have time to make something in advance, or you didn't have time to prep over the weekend. Many snack bars out there, however, tend to be marketed as quote unquote healthy, or they have limited ingredients, but those are actually going to be really high in carbohydrates and low in protein. Even the ones that say that their protein bars tend to have a lot of carbohydrates in there. So make sure that you're reading the food label, and remember that we want to try to have a balance of the protein, carb, and fat. So we like the RX bars. There's also low sugar kind of bars, and then the perfect bars as well are the ones that we usually recommend for bars. I would recommend that you try to eat food rather than bars though. This is kind of a last resort. Do you have to eat all of the food? So with our nutrition program, we recommend 3 meals and 2 snacks a day. This is going to keep us feeling full and satisfied throughout the day and keep our metabolism running pretty smoothly. If you're someone who has struggled to keep up a consistent eating schedule throughout the day, maybe you tend to skip meals, or you're not feeling hungry, or you tend to eat a lot of high carbohydrate processed foods, the changes that we're recommending and the food that we're going to recommend is going to feel like a lot of food. It's a lot more nutrient dense. It's a lot lower in calorie than a lot of the processed foods. So you're actually going to be eating a bigger volume of food. If you feel like the portions are too large for you and you're feeling really full all the time, you can try to cut back on the portion sizes a little bit. We just still want to make sure that we're getting in the balance of the protein, the carbohydrate, and the fat. So eating whole foods, nutrient-dense foods, is actually going to make you feel a lot more full. It's going to feel like a lot more food, but in the end, it's, do you want to eat more food, or do you not want to eat any food at all? I would rather eat more food, personally. So keep that in mind. You don't have to eat all the food, but we do still want to try to stay with the 3 meals and the 2 snacks throughout the day. If you need to adjust portion sizes, you can do that. All right, so the HSN app, if you have not downloaded the app yet, please make sure that you download the app, get signed in, take a look around. This is going to be one of the amazing tools that we're going to be using for the challenge. You'll have access to short weekly educational videos on a bunch of different topics related to nutrition, wellness, all that. There's a group messaging feature in there as well, so we can check in and support one another throughout the challenge. You'll be able to message with me privately as well. And I've also added the challenge handbook and the meal plan in the app as well. So if for some reason you do not have your copy, that resource is in the app for you to access. So the group messaging feature, you'll be connected to everybody in the challenge via the group challenge chat. I did put that in there. I think it was the fall nutrition group. You can post pictures, you can ask questions, you can comment on other people's posts. If you want to stay super connected to everybody during the challenge, make sure that you turn on the notifications. There should be an option in the settings there. You can turn on your notifications for that as well. I would move that app somewhere on your phone that you will regularly check it. This is going to be a great resource for you guys through the challenge. I'll be posting a video at the beginning of each week with some tips to help you out during the challenge, a little bit more focus for each week. I think I talked to everybody a little bit already about having a different habit each week, so I'll go over that. And then I'll also share some reminders each week as well. So make sure you're using the messaging app there. On the main screen, there's going to be a blue plus sign towards the bottom. You can select body stats if you want to add in your weight, your body fat percentage, any measurements that you took. If we met in person, I have already put in your biometrics already. If we met virtually, if you can add your weight, if you have body fat percentage, and then either a waist or a hip measurement. Waist measurement's going to be around your belly button, and hips are going to be around the largest part of your butt. On the main dashboard, there's also a place for you to add in photos. So for an extra point for the challenge, I want you guys to go ahead and click on that and make sure you get those 3 photos put in the app. This is just going to be our starting point. This is going to give you a reference from where you started. We'll also do these photos at the end of the challenge as well. I like to do photos because usually what happens, you see yourself every single day. You don't notice a lot of changes. If you see a picture at the beginning and at the end, you'll probably see a little bit more changes in the photos. So make sure you get those photos added in as well. So the main focus of this challenge, as we talked about, is to help you create better habits around your nutrition. So we're going to be utilizing a habit tracker in the app for this. So each week, the entire group will have a specific habit to complete every day. And at the end of the day, you can log into the app and mark off whether you did it or not. This is a great way to keep yourself accountable. It also shows up on my feed, so I know if you did it or not. And we're going to add in a new habit each week. So by the end of the challenge, we'll have 4 habits for that last week. And by the end, hopefully that first habit at least will become more of a routine, and it's just something that will get done every day. If you're a checklist person, you like to check things off and feel accomplished by doing that, this is going to be a great way for you to feel like you're making progress as we go through the challenge. So our healthy habit, when we start the challenge on Monday, your first habit is going to show up at the top of your dashboard when you log in. It'll say things to do today, and that will show our first habit. If you click on it, it will show up. This is going to be our first habit for week number 1. And our goal here is to eat at least 1 fist-sized serving of vegetables at 2 meals every day. That could be breakfast, that could be lunch, that could be dinner. If you eat your vegetables, you're just going to go ahead and mark it complete, and then it'll show up on the dashboard that you completed your habit for the day. So great way to keep you accountable as long as you're checking in on the app every day. This is just going to be a great reminder for you to make sure that you're eating your vegetables. The weekly videos. As I mentioned, we'll have access to some short weekly educational videos on a bunch of different topics. There'll be nutrition tips, mindfulness tips, kitchen and meal prep tips. The person that does the videos is Nicole Acoyne. She's actually the owner and founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, which is the program that we use for our nutrition content. She is a registered dietitian, so definitely make sure that you're checking out those videos. Those will show up in the program on the bottom menu bar. You'll find your weekly videos. There'll also be a list of your habits, and then the challenge meal plan and the handbook are in there as well. There'll also be some recipe videos in there too. So make sure that you are checking those out every week. I think they get posted on Saturdays. So if you are someone who's going to be tracking your food, MyFitnessPal is what we usually recommend, and you can connect that to the app. You can also connect some other tracking apps to HSN as well, so that information shows up on your dashboard. So I connected my Fitbit. If you have an Apple Watch, you can connect that as well. If you select more on the bottom menu bar, you should be able to connect your apps to the HSN app as well. Okay, so this is a challenge, right? So we want to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more competitive. While the focus is on creating healthy habits with your nutrition, we also want to provide a little bit of external motivation. So as this is a challenge, we will have a winner at the end. The winner is going to be determined by a couple different things. We have participation, and we also have results. Participation points will be awarded for attending different things. So the seminar, the initial meeting, the final meeting are going to count for points. We'll also have some opportunities to earn points towards the end of the challenge, like a testimonial. I'll be sending out a post-challenge survey. The photos in the app will count as a point. And to add in even more fun every week, I'm also going to be doing a small weekly mini challenge. If you complete the challenge during the week, you'll get a point, and you'll also be entered into a raffle to win some smaller prizes. We'll also have an additional habit tracker for even more points, and I'm going to go over that next. As for results, what we're looking for on this is going to be the changes in your biometrics, which are going to be changes in weight, changes in body fat percentage, and changes in your inches. So make sure that we met virtually, that you're getting that information put in the app so that I have that as well. All right, so this is our habit tracker. You should have received a copy already, either during our meeting or by email. I would suggest also putting this up on your refrigerator and making sure that you're filling it out every day. These habits are going to be all or nothing. You either did it or you didn't, and you can just put a little X in the box if you did the habit. At the end of each week, you're going to send a picture of your habit tracker to B3 Nutrition in the app. That's just going to be me. You can send me a photo, and then I'll tally up your points from there. Each completed habit is going to count towards your participation points and will serve as a great reminder for you to focus on these habits during the day. So our habits that we're going to focus on, other than the main habit in the HSN app, will be whole foods. So sticking to the foods on the food options guide in your challenge handbook, avoiding processed foods. As a general rule, if it comes in a box or a bag, with some exceptions, it's probably not a whole food. Read the nutrition label, try to stick more with whole foods, try to avoid anything that's extra additives in there. Vegetables and fruits, we want to try to eat at least 3 servings of fruits and or veggies a day. If you're doing the habit, at least for this first week, you're already going to get 2 of those in during your lunches and dinners. So that should be pretty simple to add in 1 more throughout the day. Exercise and recovery, we want at least 30 minutes of physical activity every day. It doesn't have to be coming to the gym to get a workout. It could be going for a walk. It could be going for a jog, maybe some yoga, just getting in some form of movement every day. And then we try to get in some post-workout as well. So post-workout, as soon as we finish our activity, we want to try to either get in a protein shake or a source of carb and protein to help with that recovery. And to get in that point, you have to do both. So exercise and recovery. Water. This is going to be one that we'll focus on definitely during the second week of the challenge. We want to try to get in at least 60 ounces of water over the course of the day. So try to keep track of that as well. Sleep. This one's going to be really important as well. We want at least 6 hours of sleep. We'll talk about how to create more of a bedtime routine as we get later into the challenge. But the goal on this is trying to get at least 6 hours of sleep. No alcohol. So this is one, if you want to have a drink once or twice a week, that's up to you. That's fine. I'm not going to say that you can't. Okay. We're trying to moderately consume our alcohol if that's something that you're interested in. If you drink alcohol, you're not going to get a point for that day. That's okay. Okay. Stress management. This was a big topic that popped up during our initial consult meetings. A lot of people are feeling really stressed right now just with the way that things are going. Maybe they've had to adjust their routines, and so stress level is really high. We want to, during this challenge, make sure that we're prioritizing yourself. So getting in some form of stress relief or self-care. I know a lot of people for stress relief, exercise is usually their go-to for stress relief. Other things that you can try, journaling, taking a bubble bath, going for a long walk, just something for you that's going to recharge your brain and kind of focus back in on taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself over feeling like you're feeling overwhelmed or kind of out of control during the day. So focus on that one a little bit during this challenge as well. That's going to help you feel a little bit better overall, at least mentally. All right, so recap. My advice to you when starting this challenge is to keep it really simple and start by just focusing on the weekly habit in the app. So again, this first week, our habit is going to be 1 fist-sized serving of vegetables with 2 meals every day. Okay? If you do anything at all this week, that's all I want you to do. Don't worry about everything else. Okay? If you're feeling good with that habit, you can start to add in the weekly habit tracker habits, the sleep, the hydration, all those other things. But I don't want you to start off this challenge feeling overwhelmed. I want you to start off with something that you can manage to be consistent with throughout this week and beyond. Okay? If you need support at any point during this first week, please reach out to me. Use the group message feature as well. You can reach out to everybody else in the challenge. If you're feeling like you're struggling with something, let us know. Okay? I'm here to help you as much as possible over the next 28 days and beyond. You will get out of the challenge what you put into it. Okay? I can give you as much support as possible, but you need to do the work. So keep that in mind. If you want to see the results you're looking for and reach your goals, work on just staying consistent with the habits and use the resources that we're giving you for the challenge. I'll be checking in with you as we go. Every week, I'll be sending you guys each individual message to see how your challenge is going for you. So what happens after the challenge? Just wanted to touch on this really quick. If you do the work over these next 28 days, you will see results, okay? Most of your personal goals will take longer than 28 days to achieve though. We talked about a 6 month. What does success look like at 6 months? It's okay that you're not gonna reach those bigger goals within the next 28 days. This is just the foundation to set you up for that. We're here to help you every step of the way. And when you sign up for our individual coaching or ongoing coaching, we go a little bit deeper into your why. We talk about specific action steps for you each month. And then we keep you accountable to the lifestyle changes that you're creating. That's going to give us a little bit more of a customized approach where we can look at your activity level, your lifestyle, and create some calorie goals, macronutrient goals that are more specific for you. So I'll be talking more about our ongoing coaching as we get a little bit closer to the end of the challenge. All right, so what is the next thing that you need to do? These are just a few action steps for you to kick off the challenge. So first one, you're gonna read through the challenge handbook. We're gonna use that information to plan out just a few easy meals or snacks for this week. Okay, focus on the vegetables. Take a look around the app. Add in your biometrics if you haven't done so already, or if I haven't put them in for you, and take your photos. And then you're gonna start completing your habits when we start the challenge on Monday. I'm gonna be asking for a photo of your habit tracker at the end of the week, so make sure you're filling that out as we go, that one that I asked you to put up on your fridge. This week's mini challenge is to take a picture of your grocery haul. So that could be your cart while you're at the grocery store, or when you unload all your groceries on the counter, just take a quick photo of all your food and post it in the HSN group chat. Okay, this is our mini challenge. You take a picture of your groceries, post it in the app, you get a point, and you'll be entered in the raffle for a prize at the end of the week. Remember, over the course of this challenge, keep it simple. Don't get overwhelmed. If you're not sure how or where to start, let me know. I'm here to help you out. So these are just your action steps for today. Read through the information, plan out some meals, check out the app a little bit, and then start working on your habits when we start the challenge on Monday. All right, so I'm going to open it up for some questions. If you do have a question, you can go ahead and type it in the chat and I will make sure to respond. Let me give you a minute or two here if anyone has questions. If not, if you just want to make a comment for everybody, you can post something in the comments as well. And if nobody has questions, then that'll be it for today. I'll give you about another minute here if anybody has questions. Are you guys excited to start the challenge? Everybody feeling motivated? Is anyone feeling overwhelmed yet? Hopefully not. Excited. Chris is excited. All right. Seems like everyone's pretty excited, so I think this will be good. All right, so after this, I am going to, yes, I'm going to post it for the rewatch. So after this, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. I will add it to YouTube, and I will send you guys a link of this video. So if you need to go back and watch any of it, you'll have that information as well. There's also some other cool videos on there that I've done before, some nutrition talks as well on different topics. So yes, I will send this to you at the end. All right. Well, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. I am excited to help you guys see some really good changes over the next 28 days. And hope you all have a great weekend. All right.